Pinkett Smith's house.
Great thing about Chelsea is that she's a straight shooter. It's hard to find people, specifically white people,
That want to talk about it.
want to talk about it.
You know, Mommy used to always tell us, when you're born white, you're born with your foot in the door, and that's real talk. That's the truth.
Right. A lot of white people don't feel like that, though.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a video that is going viral of some cackling hens, not the cackling hens, okay? The cackling hens are the cackling hens of The View, but cackling hens nonetheless. And this video features Chelsea Handler and Jada Pinkett Smith, who have come together to sit down and talk about white privilege, okay? As Chelsea Handler was shooting her white privilege documentary, in which Chelsea Handler got a reality check from a regular working class person that is not a Hollywood celebrity on this idea of white privilege. And I think that this is a pretty great clip. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
And it worked. I was just like, had this mouth on me, and I thought, oh yeah, like police are safe.
I had a lot of revelation in watching your documentary. Seeing how white people could actually be confused by the idea of white privilege, and why there would be some white people that believe that white privilege is non-existent.
So what we're filming is a documentary on white privilege to see if it exists or if it's a fantasy that people are just making up in their heads. What do you think?
I think it's something they're making up in their heads.
You don't think it exists?
No, I had the same privileges that the other guys had. And
What other guys?
other guys, black, white, Hispanic,
Right.
you know. I think everybody makes their own choices.
You were surprised about that?
I was surprised because,
Really?
yes, because privilege to a lot of people is related to money.
That's how I thought of it.
Right.
Right. And I read a line in a book that said, to many people, equality feels like a loss.
Right.
And that's the moment, that was the line. I'm very big on one line takeaways.
Right.
Equality feels like a loss. And then I thought, what would I be willing to give up in the name of equality?
Right.
If you were to say to me, hey, give me your house and everything's going to be fair and equal.
Right.
Sure, of course I would.
Right.
But what would individuals who have nothing to give
Right.
be okay with giving?
Right.
I feel like if you're born white, you're born with your foot in the door.
Absolutely.
I've sat down and broken bread with underprivileged white people, right? So I could see how there would be white people in America that would say, I don't know how I'm paying my bills. I don't know how I'm going to get my kid into college. Privilege? I'm out here struggling. What are you talking about?
Right.
And I think that's a defining word, though, struggle. I've had hard times in my life, but I've never struggled to eat, to have food on the table, worried about my next job in a real way.
Right. But there are a lot of white people in this country that do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying white people don't struggle. Absolutely. But that's a good word to use. And it is kind of intimidating because people don't want to get out of their comfort zones. That people
That's
who
real
say, I don't see racism, it's because you don't know any black people. So when would you witness
right.
it?
So have you come up with a definition that you feel really describes white privilege?
I always use the example that, going into a grocery store as a white person is totally different than going into the grocery store as a black person. No one's looking at you to screw up. No one's looking at you to take something. No one suspects anything. Do you know how many times I've walked out of grocery stores because the line was too long and I didn't feel like waiting? I was like, this is annoying. I'm just going to take it. And shoplifted. I mean, talk about entitlement and privilege. I just knew I wouldn't get caught.
But when
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. I've never thought I would make a video in which I would say that Jada Pinkett Smith is the voice of reason, okay? I never thought I'd make a video saying that because it sounds like she's the only one at this conversation that includes her mother, and Chelsea Handler, who is a rich white liberal, saying, hey, well, look, there are poor white people in this country that, are working class and, they're struggling and they don't feel like they're privileged because of their skin color, which is exactly right. That's what we saw in the clip of a, white person who, it seems to be working class, a woman saying, yeah, I think that white privilege is made up, right? I think it's made up in your head and that, I have the same privileges as everybody else. And she's correct because, again, there are over, 25 million poor white people in this country, right, that are living in poverty, and they don't wake up every single day feeling like, oh, well, I am privileged because of my skin, right? I'm just saying, because, when you are talking about people that are born into, poverty, they don't have a leg up just because of their skin color, right? Their skin color is not going to be the reason that they're able to dig themselves out of poverty. If it was such an important factor, they wouldn't be in poverty in the first place, right? Again, these people try to make it seem like being white is like the golden ticket to upward mobility in the United States when that's just not the case, right? The actual golden ticket is hard work, making smart decisions, and taking risk, which if anybody does that, regardless of their skin color, you're going to be able to move up, right? But, isn't it amazing how you have rich Hollywood celebrities that sit around at a table and try to tell working class people that, hey, you're privileged, right? You have privilege because of your skin color. When, again, you have these people that are in Hollywood, they're making millions of dollars to live in pretend world, right? I mean, I wouldn't even say that they do anything very meaningful outside of entertain people. They are not white, and they're living the most privileged lives on the planet, right? Not just in the planet, but in the history of the world, right? I mean, they live better lives than kings, okay, and royalty have lived before in the past. I mean, let's keep it 100. And you're black. Not only are you black, but you're also a woman as well, too, okay? And you get paid to act, okay? You get paid to live in pretend world, but yet you're sitting here talking about white privilege, okay? And this idea that other people have it better off than you, or that they have a leg up over you because of their skin color. Again, it's ridiculous. I mean, she really claimed that white people have their foot in the door, right? You got your foot in the door just because you're white, okay? As if, white people have never struggled. You never struggle because you're white, okay? Again, it's truly amazing how out of touch these Hollywood celebrities are with normal everyday people, okay? And what is even more cringe is Chelsea Handler playing the role of the guilty white liberal, pretending that, hey, she has all this white privilege because of these anecdotal experiences that she's had in life. Like, for example, she talked about being pulled over by the police and how, she never got a ticket or she never got arrested. And she didn't realize that she was getting away with it until she was indoctrinated in liberal ideology and told it, well, you got away with it because you're white, right? When it's like, okay, two can play that game. I've been pulled over by the police, and I've been let go, right? Even though, hey, they could have arrested me. They could have, beat me up because I'm black, right? I'm a black male. I'm the main target, right? I'm subject to the so-called systemic racism, and police are out looking to, stop a mud hole in me because I'm black and all the police are racist. When, there's been times I've been pulled over by the police and let go as well, too. Right? She says that, well, because I'm able to shoplift without getting caught, right? I'm able to just take stuff and walk out. That means I have white privilege. When it's like, well, how many black people, right, have we seen, right? I've done stories about this. Black people just, shoplifting and taking things out of the store without getting caught, okay? Without anybody stopping them, without anybody saying anything. Yeah, I mean, these things happen and people experience the ability to do these things regardless of their race, okay? Just because you're white, that doesn't mean that people aren't suspecting you of doing anything just because you're white. But then again, if you are suspected of shoplifting or doing something, it's probably because demographics dictate that, hey, you're more likely to be shoplifting if you happen to be, a certain skin color, which is a conversation that white liberals don't want to talk about, right? And why stereotypes and profiling exist in the first place. And then she goes on to say that, well, if I could, make the world equal by giving away my house or whatever, then I would do it. I'm like, okay, well, cool. Give away your house then, right? Give away your house. Because this is the thing that gets me about white liberals that always love to play up reparations and things like that. Okay, cool. I'm tired of you talking about it. Be about it. Empty out your bank account and give your money to me, right? Or to the next black person that you see on the street, right? The next homeless black person that's homeless because of his skin color and, it has nothing to do with his decisions or his choices in life and what he chose to do. Give all of your money. Empty out your bank account. The millions of dollars that you have in your bank account, empty it out and give it to the next black person on the street. And that doesn't just go for Chelsea Handler. That goes for all white liberals, right? If you feel like you got so much privilege, okay, and that you are responsible, you and your ancestors are responsible for the life outcomes of black people in this country who don't make it, who can't achieve upward mobility, cool. Empty out your bank account. Give me all of your assets, right? I will gladly take it, right? I'll gladly take it. But until then, I don't want to hear it, right? It's just talk, right? It's just talk. It's just virtue signaling. And quite honestly, again, it's super cringe, right? Which is exactly what that segment was from that little conversation that they had there, okay? I don't think Chelsea Handler is going to be giving her house to any black people anytime soon, unless she's, trying to sleep with one, which, she seems to like to do quite a bit. And, that's her own prerogative. I'm not judging her for that, but I'm just saying, I don't think that she's going to be actually giving anything up, right, of value to achieve equality like she claims. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.